Yo, what up, y'all? Welcome to What's in the Box Track. We are about 45, maybe 30 minutes by the time this video comes up from a tip-off, the Lakers versus Philly. So I want to go through the last game where the Lakers lost to the Raptors. Now, AD and LeBron didn't play, but I don't believe that automatically meant the Lakers should have lost that game. I do understand that AD is the powerhouse. If you watch the last video, I talked a lot about Donovan Mitchell and how he can create separation against any team. The team catches up, Donovan Mitchell takes over, right? His usage rate was pretty high relative to the rest of the team because when you get close, you get the ball to your killer and your killer kills, right? Bottom line. So the Lakers lost against the Raptors 113 to 126. 43% from the field, which is not great, but they actually held Toronto to 44% from the field. I don't think Toronto shot that great, particularly from three. They shot 27%. I think the Lakers actually had chances in this game, and I'll talk about it a little later. The attempts battle, now this is where it gets a little ugly. The Lakers had 87 attempts to 106 attempts by the Raptors. Before I get into the turnovers, I'm going to let you know how this plays out, just to be fair. The Lakers, again, play at one of the fastest paces in the league. Now, what does that mean, though, right? Trek, you keep saying pace. What does pace mean? Well, pace is defined by number of possessions within 48 minutes, average of number of possessions in 48 minutes, right? So the average number of possessions in the 48 minutes in this game was 105.5. The Raptors took 106 shots. Just think about that for just a second. Possessions close to 145 by average, right? 106 shots. Why? Well, you have 15 turnovers for 22 points. Now, listen, 15 turnovers is not particularly awful. I would put that right at my C- range. I don't know. That's probably a D, to be honest with you. Anything above that is an F. But the Raptors had 11 turnovers for 13 points. The Lakers were not scoring because the Lakers were shooting too many threes. Over 30 threes is too many three-pointers for the Lakers. And the Lakers shot like 21% from the field, from three-point line. It's just not a shot that the Lakers need to be taking, especially on the road. You have to get better shots. I think that when you look at Lonnie Walker not having the last two great games, I think it's because his production is 20 feet out. Lonnie Walker is a creator. You have to allow him to create towards the basket. If you relegate him to being a jump shot, catch and shoot shooter, you're actually taking away from what he does best. The Lakers lost the offensive rebound battle 10-17 and the overall rebound battle 46-54. Now, what I cannot find in stats, and I got to figure it, I got to dig a little deeper for y'all, is second chance points within the game, right? We know the Lakers are not great at that, but within the game, I can't find the stats to kind of show how many points a team scored off of their offensive rebounds. But we know that the Raptors were +7 possessions, right? And plus 15 possessions, turnovers. So a total plus 22 possessions off of turnovers and offensive rebounds. I mean, the math is starting to add up here, right? 106 to 87. If you give the ball up so many times, okay, fine, right? So what the Lakers did do well was they shot 91% from the free throw line. Thomas Bryant was 10 for 10. I think Thomas Bryant is playing pretty well. And I actually think Jones is playing well as well, although, I would kind of prefer Brian in there. He's not as good defensively, but it is what it is. Fast break points, it was 23-28. Lakers lost that battle as well, but I can live with that close of a margin. Points in the paint, 52-58 without AD around. I suppose I could live with that as well, but we know that, you gave him 7 offensive rebounds for quite a few putbacks, so there's that. I think this game is starting to give me a sign that we might be on the ridiculous side a little bit of having Russell Westbrook come off the bench. Look, in this game, start him. The Raptors started off with like an 11-point lead. As soon as Russell Westbrook gets in the game, the Lakers score. I'm not saying this as a Russell Westbrook fan. You guys should stop hating on him. That's not the point I'm making here. The point I'm making here is I don't know if I'm starting Toscano Anderson over Russell Westbrook at this point. I don't think that I'm doing that, right? If AD and LeBron are out, I think you just start the guy. At the very least, you're not spotting the Raptors 11 points. You lost by 13. I know what you're going to say. Well, Trek, that was garbage time. The game was way over before that. But no, the Lakers within the game were actually able to bring a 27-point lead down to about 13 points. If you don't spot the Raptors 11 in the very beginning, you have better chance in this game than you gave yourself. I feel like you need to start the player that plays probably the most actionable of all of your offensive players. The other thing is we might be on the ridiculous side of leaving Russell Westbrook on the bench overall. The Lakers start off slow, right? And when you look, the first quarter was 39-31, in spite of the fact that the Raptors started off with an 11 plus. Usually that means that quarter is going to be a blowout. But the Lakers were able to bring it back because Westbrook was pushing the pace and making sure that we were attacking the basket, right? That's your best chance. 36 three-pointers is not your best chance. On the road especially, it's not your best chance. So we might actually be with a more ridiculous side of not starting Russell Westbrook in general, but we're definitely on the ridiculous side if he does not start when AD and LeBron are out. I'm going to disagree entirely with Coach Ham there. With all that being said, the Lakers in a couple minutes are getting ready to face off with the 76ers. The 76ers, I think, are back at full health. There's some probability that AD and Bron don't play. I don't know at this point. So, the 76ers right now are in that top 5 defensive rating. You know how I feel about that. Once you get past number 2, it starts to get a little questionable. What they do not do well is rebound. They're at the bottom of the league in rebounding altogether. They're in the middle of the league in second chance points. If you can get on the boards, you have a chance to sneak some points away from them. And I think that's a good idea. What I would watch out for is Tobias Harris. The Lakers don't have a player on their bench or anywhere near that can guard that dynamic 2 or 3. They just don't have it. The point guard position, they can not nullify entirely, but they can weaken. But Tobias Harris might have a field day if the Lakers don't figure out a strategy to keep him out of the paint. And when I mean out of the paint, I don't mean just, post up. I mean just actionable moves towards the paint. They got to keep him out of there because those are the players that are going to kill the Lakers. If AD doesn't play, then of course, you got to watch out for Embiid and Harden. I know everybody wants to down him, but at the end of the day, he's more of a facilitator at this point. And if you don't check, he'll put up 15 points on you while putting up 10, 11 assists. So let's see how the Lakers do tonight, depending upon who plays. I personally don't think that this is a road trip the Lakers can take for granted. So if AD is really sick, he's really sick. If Bron is really hurt, he's really hurt. But if this is a kind of rest thing, I don't even think 3-3 on this road trip is truly a success, considering you kind of spotted the league 5 losses in the very beginning. And you have about 3 games you should have made up over that time that you kind of gave back, right? Again, the infamous Pacer game that I promise I won't talk about anymore. All right, y'all, let's see what happens. This has been What's in the Box Trek, man. I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend. After this Philly game, you got Detroit on Sunday, and then the Lakers come back home. This road trip, 6-game road trip will be wrapped up, and we'll talk about how the Lakers fared on this road trip on Monday. Holla at y'all. Peace.